Hello Namibia. As promised, today I'm here to talk about homosexuality. Some of my friends have been commenting on my social media contents asking me to talk about homosexuality. One thing that my friends do not know is that I don't talk about serious things like this to favor certain agendas. When I talk about serious things like this, I consider facts. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2014, I registered for a Bachelor of Communication degree at NAST. In my second semester, I had a module called Gender Communication. Before this module, I did not have a problem with homosexuality. I mean, it did not bother me. But after that module, it broadened my knowledge about homosexuality and why it exists. Because I got to learn a lot of things about sex and gender. And I also got to learn about, among other things, different sex orientations. Sex orientation, ladies and gentlemen, is a preference of somebody. What do you prefer sexually? I know about 3 sex orientations, but there are probably more than that. The first one, I know about heterosexual, a sex orientation where people are sexually attracted to people of the opposite gender. If you are a girl, you are sexually interested or sexually attracted to men or to boys. If you are a boy, you are sexually attracted or you prefer girls. Now, this is an acceptable sex orientation. And when you are heterosexual, in other terms, it is called straight. You are straight. And then we have homosexual. Homosexual is a sex orientation where people are interested sexually to people of the same sex. For instance, if you are a girl, you are interested sexually in girls. If you are a boy, you are interested in boys. Now, this is considered as an abomination of the highest order. If you are homosexual, in other terms, you are called gay or lesbian. And then we have a third one called bisexual. Now, this is a dangerous group of people. Bisexual people, they don't have a preference. They just take anything. Unlike homosexual and heterosexual that are direct about a certain group that they are interested in. Bisexual people, they are attracted to both sex. I'm telling you, these are dangerous people. In football betting terms, we'll call them both team to score or double chance. Anything that comes, they eat. Anything that comes, they eat. Now, before I tell you why homosexuality exists, let me tell you the difference between sex and gender, because it will help you understand. Sex is physical, because sex refers to the genitals that you have. It's either you are born with male genitals or female genitals, and there's nothing you can do about it. But as technology advances, we have people that go for surgery to remove or change their sex genitals. And then there is gender. Gender is not physical. Gender is in the brain. Gender is in your mind. Because gender is a role that you take. The behaviors that people expect you to behave based on whether you are a female or a male. Like I said, gender is in the mind. We learn how to behave and take roles of our gender, whether we are male or female, according to our upbringing, our surrounding, and our culture. And by the way, gender is divided in 2 parts: gender roles and the gender identity. Gender roles are the expected behaviors of somebody according to their sex, whether they are male or female. And the gender identity is a choice. It's up to you to decide whether you are identifying yourself as a man or as a woman. That's why we have cases where a person is born with male genitals, but they identify themselves as women. Or you have a person who is born with female genitals, but they identify themselves as men. Now, that's why we have homosexuality. Now we have arrived to the question why homosexuality exists. Those that did biology, you are familiar with conditions like gender dysphoria, where some people feel like they are born in wrong bodies. A person is born with male genitals, but they feel like they are women. There is also a condition that is called androgen insensitivity syndrome, where a person is born with either female genitals or male genitals, but the gender that is in the brain is that of the opposite sex. For instance, a guy, you just see a guy there, but that guy is just with ladies, his friends are ladies, he just like to associate himself with ladies. Even the way he walks, you can just tell that there is something wrong with this one man. I hope now you understand that homosexuality is natural, because there is so much evidence that proves that homosexuality is natural. Another cause of homosexuality is a hormonal imbalance. We have two famous hormones that are associated with each gender. We have estrogen, which is associated with female and femininity, and then we have testosterone that is associated with male and masculinity. Now you find cases where a lady has too much testosterone in her system. Now when you find that person, you might want to ask for evidence of sex genitals for you to believe that yes, that person is really a lady, because that person's structure, body structure is messed up. Even the person's chest, man, there are no tits there, man. You might even say, hey, what's up, bro? Are you also here to check out ladies? And when somebody say, you are talking to a lady, you might say, what is happening here? I mean, and it is not only ladies that suffer from hormonal imbalances, even men. You find a man with a huge ass, even bigger than your girlfriends. And sometimes when I see these people, I ask God, man, why did you waste that big, huge ass on a man while you could have given it to my girlfriend? The person's structure is messed up. Now, when somebody is born like that, with those conditions, can you really blame them for turning out to be gay? This has brought us to the hate and the discrimination against homosexuality. I don't understand the hate against homosexuality or against gay people by fellow men. I don't understand. I mean, as a straight man, as a straight guy, why should I be bothered by gay people or by homosexuality? Why? If somebody is gay, that person is not my competition. If you are gay, that means there is more women for me. Why should I be bothered? For ladies, I understand, because the nature of the population demographic is that women are more than men. And if some men turn out to be gay, there will be fewer men to satisfy this women need. So for women, I understand totally their hate for gay people. But fellow men, if you are a real man and you hate gay people, you have certain insecurities that you need to sort out, because it doesn't make sense. I don't understand. And for the hate of gay people in general, I mean, gay people are harmless people. You hardly find a gay person who is a gangster or a gay person who causes trouble. They are always friendly and they mind their business. And in fact, gay people are hardworking people. You hardly find a gay person at the traffic lights or in streets begging. Those people know how to hustle. They are hardworking people. And for us to hate them because of their choices, I don't understand. Gay people are not allowed to marry each other in Namibia, but they can fly out and they get married elsewhere, and they come back again to spend their marriage here. It is like telling people in your house that they cannot cook donkey meat in your house, but they can go out and cook that meat elsewhere and come eat it in your house. It doesn't make sense. And I think our leaders are sleeping on gay people's money. Gay people have money, and we know how expensive our weddings. Weddings are expensive. So instead of them flying out to South Africa to get married there, they must marry each other here. They are not marrying us, they are marrying each other. Let them marry each other here and spend their money here. We need their money. Our economy is already struggling, yet we don't want these people's money. Eh? They must spend their money here. Yes. And I have a message for President Geingob. Some of us, President Geingob will go down in history as the worst president Namibia ever had. Because anything that is bad escalated during President Geingob's tenure. From corruption, crime, unemployment, debts, everything that is bad escalated during President Geingob's tenure. So to people like me, there is nothing that he can do to change the fact that he will go down as one of the worst presidents Namibia ever had. But all hope is not lost for President Geingob. There is a certain community that he can do something for them, and they can see him as a hero or their savior, which is a gay community. Gay community, if the president allow them to be recognized and have their right to marry each other, I think they will appreciate him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my take and my personal opinion about this homosexuality thing. After considering the facts, I see this homosexuality as a disability, just like any other disability, because these people don't function normally how they were expected to function. And I see it as a condition or a disease like HIV and AIDS, because there are similarities between homosexuality and HIV and AIDS. If you check, some people are born with HIV and AIDS, and some people get it along the way. Just like homosexuality, some people are born like that, and some get it along the way. We heard the stories, and we know about prominent people who are obsessed with materials and wealth. They go at certain places to go search for wealth and materials, and they are being told to involve themselves with homosexuality. And we know that some people became homosexual as a result of hunger, because people come to you with offers that if you do me nice, or if you let me do you, I will pay you handsomely. If you accept that offer, then you become a homosexual due to hunger. That means some people get it along the way. And if you look at HIV and AIDS, there is no cure of HIV and AIDS. Same thing with homosexuality. There is no injection or treatment that can remove homosexual from somebody. There is nothing. If we cannot find a solution, why don't we use our energy and the resources on things that we can change, things that we can control? You know, Shwambo culture, I heard back then, if they find out that somebody is homosexual, they used to take a hot iron and insert it in their ass. I don't know, maybe to burn out those abnormal hormones. I don't know whether it worked or not, but why don't we try it? We have school of medicine. Why can't we tell them to do some test and see if it works? Because we hate it so much and we want it gone. We must try to find a solution. Otherwise, we must let people be. Now, some people are using Christianity to hate homosexual people, to say, that thing is abnormality, Sodom and Gomorrah, what. I think homosexuality exists because God allowed it to exist. If God did not want homosexuality to exist, He would not allow people to discover it. There are things that are not allowed. For instance, you cannot talk to God directly. You can pray to God, but you cannot talk to Him or see Him or have a direct conversation with Him, because it is not allowed. Even reading people's mind or seeing another person's thought is not allowed. Up to now, there is nobody who discovered how to read people's mind or how to see the next person's thoughts, because it is not allowed. Anything that exists, anything that is can be discovered. I think God allowed it. And then there are people that use culture to say, that's not our culture, this and that. Why are you being selective on what European culture to practice? Because you are busy practicing European culture in some things that suit your agenda. For instance, our marriage. As black people, it is not our culture to marry one lady. Our forefathers understood the demographic of the population, that there are more ladies compared to men. So back then, a woman would not reach 35 years and she would still stay in her parents' house. But today, a lady would reach up to 50 years and she would live in her parents' house with her kids. And we think that is normal. The same Western that told us that marrying more than two wives is a sin is the same culture that defends gay people's right. But we were stupid enough to believe that marrying more than two ladies is a sin. Some people use economy as an excuse to say, in this economy, you cannot marry more than one woman. Even some even uses HIV and AIDS as an excuse that if you marry more than one lady, you are at the risk of contracting HIV and AIDS. Let me tell you, in January, I was in the north, and one lady visited us from Angola. So when my mother was greeting her, she was like, how is Protasius' family? They are doing fine. And his wives, those ones, they don't like each other. That means my boy Protasius is married to 3 ladies. In 2023, my boy Protasius is married to 3 ladies. 3. Now, what economic excuse are you telling me if his first job, he was a cattle header in our house? Then he upgraded, he went to Oshakati to sell airtime vouchers and sweets. As we are speaking today, he is married to 3 ladies. And if you take your HIV testing devices and go to Angola, I assure you, you will not find Protasius HIV positive. Now, what excuses are you talking about? I'm very proud of my boy Protasius, and I hope one day I emulate what he is doing, because he respects the culture of our forefathers. One day I will also make my grandfathers proud. They will look at me from the other side saying, yo, this boy is bringing back the culture. Before I leave, there is something that gay people associate themselves with that I do not agree with. Gay people take pride and use a rainbow as a symbol that represents them. I don't agree with that choice, because for gay people to use a rainbow as a symbol that represents their community, I think you guys are being disrespectful to a rainbow. I mean, there is no way you can look at a rainbow and have doubts. Is this an aeroplane? Is this a bird? Or is this a crowd? Is this a lightning? When you look at a rainbow, you can already tell that, okay, I am now looking at a rainbow, because there is nothing complicated about a rainbow. In my opinion, a rainbow is straight. So I think you are being disrespectful to a rainbow. But you know me, when I criticize something, I have a solution for it. So I have a perfect solution for something that you can adopt as a symbol that represents your community, and they remove a rainbow. You are all familiar with an animal called a bat. A bat is a strange animal. When you look at a bat, you start having doubts, which is this a bird or is this a mouse? Because it is a mammal which has a head of a mouse, but it has wings, it can fly. So it is a complicated animal. Does that remind you of anything? Yes, it reminds you of you guys. Because we look at you and start having doubts, which are, is this a man or is this a woman? Is this a boy or is this a girl? Same thing with you guys. So I think gay community and a bat are a match made in heaven. So remove a rainbow and put a bat, so you become a bat community. Thank you very much. With that said, I just want to say, Raki Dube is telling us to live together as one. So let's spread love, let's live and let live. Bye bye.